On this episode of the Carolina Sports Guy, now folks, DeShaun Watson fiasco is over for the Panthers. What do we think about what's happening in free agency so far? Where do we go at quarterback? What do we need to do? Before we get into today's video, make sure you subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. Pound that like button, hit that bell notification, be notified of future videos on the Panthers. And by all means, folks, leave me some comments. I surely love the dialogue. Okay, folks, DeShaun Watson, after looking at this, it would have been one of those things if we signed him, there'd have been a lot of hope in Panther land. Surely he's a top 5 quarterback talent. However, I can't blame Tepper and this organization for not guaranteeing 5 years of a contract. Regardless of how the civil litigation plays out, regardless of how everything, excuse me for a second, regardless of how everything plays out, it's a situation where it was too much money. Now, I tell you the one thing I like about what the Browns did, they didn't really give up anything but their 3 first-round picks. Now, if that would have been awesome, we could have retained our talent. That really would have been beneficial as far as the surrounding cast we could have put with DeShaun Watson. But if for some reason he got injured, or if things come out in a different light, or he couldn't play, the NFL suspends him, it's a lot of guaranteed money. And we've kind of been down the road with CMC being one of the highest paid running backs in the NFL and the injury situation there. But didn't work out. I'm just glad he didn't sign with Atlanta or New Orleans. It's very beneficial that he went to Cleveland. He stays in the AFC where we don't have to see him, but maybe once every few years, or if we were to make a Super Bowl against Cleveland, that's kind of pushing things down the road. But I did want to look at the free agent situation. Now, we've kind of retained some of our own talent. Brandon Zylstra, we've restructured Robbie Anderson. DJ Moore got a huge deal. That was big. I think it's great. I think he's one of the best receivers we've had. In my opinion, he's the best receiver we've had since Steve Smith. It's not his fault that he's been stuck with a declining Cam. He comes in his rookie year when Cam was still kind of at his peak. But after that, a declining Cam. He had Heineke. He had Kyle Allen. He's dealt with Sam Darnold. He's dealt with P.J. Walker. And he did Teddy Bridgewater. He's really been through the gauntlet of quarterbacks. And it'd be nice if DJ Moore had a little bit of help from a quarterback and an offensive line as well. Well, we knew about the Ian Thomas deal. I have no problem with that. Maybe I overpaid a little bit. Bringing Brandon Zylstra back, it's okay with me. It's a special teams piece, a 4th receiver type of guy. Now, the other big news, Dante Jackson's back, 3-year deal. I like that since we do have C.J. Henderson and J.C. Horn and some of the other players that we do have. Now, Jeremy Chin has been talking about moving him back to linebacker. Let's talk about another safety out there. We did sign Xavier Woods, who I last believe on a 3-year deal, but he played with Minnesota. It's an upgrade at our safety position, in my opinion. And if Jeremy Chin does play safety with Xavier Woods, it's going to free up Jeremy Chin a little bit more. Now, small talk, if we did go out and were to get another safety, maybe we can move Jeremy Chin in a linebacker. I think that's less and less likely now because we've gone out and signed Damian Wilson, the linebacker, who's played at Jacksonville, some other teams. And we also got Little John, who I believe played for the Raiders, if I'm not mistaken, at linebacker. So we've kind of really hit our linebacker room is definitely improved. Getting rid of Jermaine Carter, I believe, but having Shaq Thompson restructure, that's huge. Marquise Haynes is back. I have no problem with that. The shocking move to me, I didn't have a problem with him really moving on from Gilmore. It would have been nice to have kept him, but I really felt that, they cut A.J. Bouye, and getting rid of Gilmore, Dante Jackson was probably a little bit of a cheaper deal. And if Dante's on with having J.C. Horn back there and he goes back to form, what he was the 3 games he played for us, we'll be okay. We'll be okay in the secondary. I like what we have there. Cutting Morgan Fox Didn't make a lot of sense. But I've got to really look at the fact that maybe Davion Nixon's going to play a bigger role. If you can save some money and you've drafted a rookie who's progressed along further than what you think, you might not see it, folks, but I had to really look at the roster and think about that. It's a shame we couldn't bring Hassan Reddick back. But look, got a one-year deal, good deal. Somebody was worth, he played up to his contract and deserved to get a new contract. We weren't going to pay him that kind of money. Daquan Jones is gone. That's another one-year player. I think that some of the guys that we do have, like I said, a Davion Nixon is really going to spell his place. We might even have to draft one late or try to find someone else in free agency on the line. Matt Leonidas from Washington was a defensive tackle. I think he can kind of play that role. Now, Rashad Higgins, a wide receiver coming over from Cleveland. I like that pick. Dante Foreman, running back out of University of Texas. I believe played for the Houston Texans at one time. I like that as a good running back to spell McCaffrey, to kind of give Chuba Hubbard a break. The really good players, bringing in Johnny Hacker, the punter from the Rams, I thought was an excellent, outstanding deal because he can live up to whatever he's been doing with what we got him for. Field position will change. It's very, very crucial. Very good. Bradley Bozeman, center from Baltimore that can play guard. I like the deal. There's only one thing I didn't like about it. It's kind of like Hassan Reddick, Damian Jones. It was only on a one-year deal. So if he plays up to the max, he's going to get paid somewhere and he'll be gone. But he's someone, if he plays where we want him to play, we could re-sign him. Austin Corbett, the guard from the Rams that started in the Super Bowl. We got him on a multi-year deal. That's a good signing. So right away, we improved the interior of the line. And between Deontay Brown and even Brady Christensen, I think our interior line is going to be fine. Don't rule out a possibility if we trade down in the first round of taking Tyler Linenbaum from Boston College at center. Makes a lot of sense. It could happen. Of course, I'd love to have the left tackle. Armstead from the Saints is out there. He's looking at between Miami, Chicago, and us. He might be overpriced for what we want to pay. I believe it's Dwayne Brown, who is a left tackle for Seattle. I don't know how good he is. It's an upgrade from what we've got. So that might be the really best thing to go out and get. If we go that route, we might be taking an offensive lineman at number 6. We could trade down and get some more picks, acquire some different depth and talent. And that's why Linenbaum makes a lot more sense if we would draft him in the teens where we could get him. But if we don't get that left tackle, hey, we could even move down just a few spots and get like a Charles Cross, the left tackle from Mississippi State, although I don't know if he fits our scheme or not. But I'm looking at things, folks, and there's a lot that's going on that I like with this roster. We do definitely need some depth at defensive line, whether it be the tackle or the end. We definitely need another offensive line piece, particularly the left tackle, although Brady Christensen could play that. I tell you, receivers, tight end wise, or running backs, I feel good about. I feel good about our secondary. Our linebackers, we could use another one, but I really feel we don't have to reach now. I like that we've gotten better at that position. So I'm feeling pretty good about everything. We re-signed our kicker, and that was good for me. Zane Gonzalez played well. I didn't mention that earlier. The one position other than left tackle that has to be addressed is quarterback. Folks, right now they're looking at Jimmy Garoppolo, Baker Mayfield. I don't want either one. I'm sorry. Even though it may be even better than Sam Darnold and bringing back Cam, in my opinion, it's not much of an upgrade to be wasting draft picks or futures, setting ourselves up for failure. Roll with Cam Newton if you want to. Bring back Sam Darnold. We owe him $18 million. Stick with it. If we suck one more year, but we've got all this talent and can do this roster, let Fitterer do his job. It's a quarterback-rich draft next year. If we got a top 10 pick, we might be able to get the quarterback we desire. I'm not going to rule out getting a Baker Mayfield or a Jimmy Garoppolo if we can throw a 5th or 6th round pick. Because really right now, folks, unless it's a backup deal, the options aren't there. It's really Seattle because I believe Jameis Winston's re-signing with New Orleans. Matt Ryan now is with the Colts. Atlanta's going after Marcus Mariota. It's really Carolina and Seattle that need a quarterback the most probably. So let Mayfield go to Seattle. They could be several teams, even Atlanta could be looking at drafting one of these young quarterbacks like a Malik Willis or Kenny Pickett. That's going to be another option we can go with. If we stay where we are, it's kind of a reach picking Malik Willis or even Kenny Pickett at number 6. But maybe we trade down a few picks, we could still get them. But normally if you're sold on that quarterback, you're going to pick him there and not take that gamble. My opinion, if we don't get one of these left tackles in the draft, and I don't know if we necessarily need one unless it's for a future, looking at our future. If we get a left tackle in free agency that's presentable and can do a good job, my opinion, if we don't get the kid from NC State, Awuke, Akua, or whatever his name is, and if we don't, we can definitely get Evan Neal from Alabama, which I think he's going number 1, probably number 2. Why not take the number 6 pick? If one of the two are on the board, go with Thibodeau from Oregon defensive end, or who I really would like to have, Hutchinson from Michigan. You get a defensive end who can be the next Bosa, be the next, Peppers. We get a defensive end that can make an impact, can be the next Chase Young. Look what our defense would do with Brian Burns on one side and one of these two guys on the other. Or do you want to get a mediocre quarterback who could end up being another Sam Darnold, another Baker Mayfield? Necessarily not going to be Justin Herbert. It's a chance you take. So I would not, it gives us more options. This free agency, Scott Fitter's done a wonderful, wonderful job with what he's done, and I like what I see. So I really, Kenny Pickett, Malik Willis, it's an option. I prefer to take a defensive end myself if one of these left tackles are not here in the draft. Even Kyle Hamilton, the safety, but right by now I think that option's gone. We'd have to really be loaded everywhere and have the quarterback we desire. I still say wait out one more year to get a quarterback. Okay, folks, what do you think of today's video? Who would you like to see us draft at pick number 6? Or do you want to see us trade down and acquire more picks? Leave me some comments. I love the dialogue. Pound that like button. Hit that bell notification to be notified of future videos like this on the Panthers. And by all means, folks, help Uncle Chucky out. Subscribe. It's free of charge. And we'll see you next time on another episode of Carolina Sports Guy.